into the new weekly candle. It's very important to see where we need to go from here, but not focusing so much on a micro moment that could make you and afford you, or at least allow you to miss the opportunity from a macro sense. We still have rather large pattern consolidations outside of XRP because that's already broken up 10x or so from its initial consolidation base that it was in for over 7 years. But there's a number of altcoins, particularly what we look at, the Internet of Things and the ISO tokens, that are not just on extended inverse head and shoulders right now, but have 5+ years of consolidation here. There's hidden opportunities here. What I think will happen here, because a lot of the mainstream attention is on XRP, and a lot of the mainstream attention is focused towards, XRP. I think the focus should have been more on XRP at 34 cents. And, fortunately for us, we got it right in that sense that we are going to ride that gravy train. And once we did, the rest could follow. But not the meme tokens, not the ones that a lot of people want to talk about. I'm talking the Internet of Things tokens that are very, you know, few and far between people will talk about them. And yeah, there's the mainstream ones that, we love. We love, and we love the mainframe token IOTA. We like data. We like XYO. We love MXC Moonchain, but I refuse now, even though I tried again. I just don't like to buy and sell it off of crypto.com. I don't mind storing my crypto there because they have fire blocks and they have a lot of different things with custodials and backing that, and it gives you a lot of reasons why you can store it there. But as far as buying and selling it there, no. Even if I store something, which I do store things there, I'll just get rid of it, and send it back to Bait Unix or another exchange. I can sell it, and then if I gotta send my cash back, whatever, my USDT. But um, but when we're looking at this right now, we'll see a nice weekly candle that ended not in a terrible spot. I mean, it's not like, oh my god, it's gonna knock your socks off. Ethereum's is. But we're getting into that bona fide alt season. We're rubbing up now. And yeah, we've been a little red on the alt tokens during this month. It hasn't had that move up like Ethereum. Bitcoin had a nice close, getting over 119. We should push to 126 now that we close. We got over 118. And we knew once we took that, we have that target up to 126 in the micro. So I think we're setting up for a big move possibly here in the short term, which is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be great for the altcoins. And I'm going to continue to say it: Algo, IOTA, HBAR, XDC, which XDC I did buy 50,222 tokens on that 088 support. And I have a plan to either buy 50,000 more at 096 when it breaks back over that short-term resistance that was created. However, we knew if it came down here and held that 088, it's 087 here, but we've been saying 088, so I want to, like that. That's basically where I bought it too, which is kind of funny. But that 0888, we'll call it, but it ended up coming down a little farther and creating this. So now we can bring the base, we can bring the base down, but we talked about maybe it's a rising triangle. Then initially it broke down out of this and we were worried about a rising wedge. But we knew if it held this, we could create a rising triangle there. That's why I had put it out like that yesterday. But I pulled this back now with the new evidence. So now it's like as long as we get back over 096, that short-term area, which is up here, that would be breaking out. It's not just right here, but the breakout area over the top, then, you can buy more, or you can just buy it all right now. But understand, if it breaks down out of this, there's a 072 possibility. Anywhere between 072 and 075. So I said I'll do 50,000 tokens here, which is like $5,000. And then if it goes down to 075 area, I'll do the rest, because I want to have at least 100,000 tokens here with XDC. Because I decided to have more of IOTA, like 40,000, as you know. And more of Algo, 40,000, as you know. And HBAR, 20,000. And VChain, a couple 100,000. Or what is it, 100 and something, I don't know. And then with the data and band and Axelar, Oh, and the one I never talked about for some reason, I've been building into this one for a while. It's up to 50,000. So I don't remember if it's 58 or 53 or 56,000 tokens, but it's it's Graph, GRT, and it's an IoT token. And I started to build into it, and I keep buying it on BitUnix, sending it over to Crypto.com because you can stake it there for 8 point something percent. And the reason I like their staking is it's not a week long to unstake it; it's 24-hour unstaking period. So if I got to pull it out for some reason, which I don't plan to, I did the same thing with Algo at 3 point something percent. And it's not the crypto earn garbage where you have to lock it up for a year and you can't unlock it. I'm talking about the actual staking they offer. The USA is allowing different kinds of staking now with certain platforms that have the right licensing. So I mean, you're just lending it back to the blockchain, and they're paying you probably less than the blockchain is offering, but they're the middle person, so they're gonna take the extras. But anyhow, GRT, it's an IoT token, and it's just something I wanted to build into. At this point, it came back down to the bottom area, and even if it has a longer consolidation, I wanted to build in when it was at this area rather than waiting for it to come here. So it's down at this support structure. So I just been doing it for the last, like, I think 3 weeks or 4 weeks now. So the last couple monthly candles I've been working with. So we'll see how this pans out. I don't necessarily like that chart. I wonder if it was on Coinbase, the bigger chart. It definitely wasn't that chart. I guess it's just like that. I don't think I'm going to find a better one. Whoops. No, that's fine. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at there. And this has been up into this is another one, like for example, like I always talk about, but was up so high in this past cycle in 21, got up to 286, and now it's down 95%, and that's at 13 cents. We're not even close to 13 yet. So I don't know why I never have that on there, but every time I get off the air, I'm always like, why don't I ever talk about that one? That was one that I really had high hopes for a long time ago. And there was a plan if it ever came way down, and it came way down. And I actually stuck to it. It's 50-something thousand right now. I can't remember how many exactly. But that's on the Internet of Things side of town. But these have massive pattern consolidations, but hopefully, if we start pushing and cooking here in the proper order, XRP will get back over $3.20, and we'll start to push to that next area. And the next area would be $3.28, which would be big. That would be a big area to get to. Ethereum right now, nice start here to the flip of the candle. Our next push, I mean, we have set up 4,863. We've already had these numbers, but it's set it up now. We got to break a new high here on this candle to continue this bullish narrative. No lower lows yet. So 4,330 would be our next target. And we have a nice consolidation base here. Like, if this pushes out here, we got a nice friggin' move here. Even in the micro, I don't even want to talk about that because we have a much bigger one that would fell out here. So this absolutely has the strength to get up to that 4,800. And that's going to be very nice for our altcoins on this. This is the part of the move I'm excited about. If we can get follow through here, you know, I don't know if we come back to 4,000 first or whatever, but we held that. We held on Ethereum that 4,100, and if you look at it in the micro, and it's a hard test, that 4,170 from the resistance up, which we had before this ever ran. We back tested it absolutely flawlessly right now. And if we can break up and break 4,330, we're going to have a quick slingshot up to 4,800. There's not any resistance there. Like, this would be the fun part if it can do it. And you got to remember, altcoins aren't meant to exactly run the 30, 50, 100%. Wait a minute, what? I didn't hear it. I didn't see what they said. Small live like this. Small live tonight. I like this. I don't know. I mean, Doesn't seem to. I mean, there's 111 people here, so it's I think there's a few people here this evening. But I think these are important ones to be at. But I'm gonna say hi to some of you. I appreciate you all tuning in. Remember, this is not I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes at the end of the day. I'm just trying to show you a little bit into what I see here. If you're new, I've been doing this since March 24th of 2021. I've been here every single day without fail, and I think that's important because we build, an understanding here. Um, and we're just gonna watch some of these, see if we can get more opportunities lower as well, and or see if we can break up and break out with like XRP with all of them. We're in this consolidation range. It's nice to see Ethereum bouncing around here, back testing all these little short moves up. Well, let's say hi, everybody. Mr. Talley, good evening. Dan Marginal, welcome in, and thanks for being in town for your first month with the emoji as me being abducted by aliens. Beautiful day indeed. Crazy Pull, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6 months plus with the XP Predictor. Says, can the alts decouple from Bitcoin? Soon. But on this phase, if Bitcoin could go to 126, it could pull up the altcoins with them. And then as the money will pour through Ethereum, hopefully it would move to 4,800 during that time period. After that, I think some of the money would bleed into the altcoins. I really do. But Ethereum would have a longer target of 7,000 in the long term. Maybe even 15, depending on if we could get up over that cup and handle target that hasn't even been finished yet and end up playing off of there. So it's kind of like the future look in all of this. But in time, it should. Defined Group, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor along with Daytona. And also, thanks for being a very trusted mod. Defined. Sorry you had to pause your movie with the wife. My bad. But I do appreciate you being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. I seen your message. I'm like, whoops. I sent him a emote too. That pretty much signifies it. My bad. In my father's kitchen, welcome in. I love that you look forward to the updates as well. Daytona Crazy, welcome in, and thanks for being in Towns Army 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Hello to you, my friend. Mark Caston, UK Phil, CJ2 Pilot, thank you to the three of you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. George Athanasov, and Papa Wheelie, thank you both, along with the Ricci Farms, for being in Tom's Army. And Keith Morgan and Joseph Euler, all 5 of you, for being in Tom's Army for over 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Good evening to all of you. Maria Mercedes Rodriguez, thank you for being in Tom's Army for your first month, along with Dennis Smith, with the emoji badges of me being abducted by aliens. And that is my face superimposed on that emoji badge. Circa 2019. It's true. It really is. It used to be on a coffee cup. I still have it. Or Julie has it. I be killing, welcome in. I've never bought a stock before, but how do you feel about NVIDIA? I mean, at this point, you can find a lot of better deals than NVIDIA. I'm just being honest. NVIDIA, I mean, it takes one wrong word, and NVIDIA, it's gonna get shoved right down your throat. I don't like the FANG stocks. Like, I consider NVIDIA part of that whole group. Facebook, Amazon, Apple. I'll call it NVIDIA because it is part of the big stocks. That's what any financial advisor will tell anybody to buy. But once the market goes the wrong way, there's no balance. So, I mean, they're good in the interim, but, I mean, it's so high over earnings and all this other crap. The PE ratio, I don't even know what it is right now. It's got to be out of hand. Like, crazy high.
As of mid-August 2025, NVIDIA's price-to-earnings PE ratio is in the range of 58 to 60, depending on the specific...
I mean, if you want to put it in perspective of what I like.
Based on the information available, D2 Gold is not a recognized ticker symbol for a publicly traded company.
15.9.
It's possible...
But no, I mean, that's not as bad as I thought. Price over earnings, though, that's 50, 60 times what they actually earn. So, I mean, it's a little high. But, I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. I like the mining stock sector right now, outside of crypto, if I'm being honest, along with, if you're looking for slower over time, I really like the emerging markets here. They've been doing me very well the last so many months. Yeah, that's fine. Didn't I get 2 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one for home. Did you see him on there? It said I'm really hungry when he was walking away.
There's also crispy.
He's smart how he words it like that. But yeah, I mean, if you like the video, I'm not gonna kill you for it. But I would have, I don't know. I'm not gonna kill you for it. Jeff Pafal, welcome in. First real live here. I'm so glad to hear that. Welcome in, Jason. I appreciate that. Jeff says, how come this XRP isn't moving with the news the other day? What do you mean? It's doing just like it's supposed to. It's consolidating the levels. I didn't know it had a time schedule. You guys gotta slow down. You guys are gonna drive yourself nuts because, oh my god, it didn't go up to infinity in 12 seconds. It's doing just exactly what it needs to do. It's at $3.20, friend. Last November, about 10 months ago, it was at 38, or what was it, 40 cents? So, I mean, my question is, why is everybody still so like, pushy for XRP when it's at $3.20? It's because you guys bought at $2.90 or $3.15? Like, we've been in this since, like, 30-cent area. Some from 40, some from 50. So it's doing everything but not moving. I would say the rest of the market's not moving, aside from Bitcoin, Ethereum at this point, and maybe a couple others you can sprinkle in there. So I think it's doing exactly what it needs to. If you're not careful and you make it run too fast, too quickly, it's going to end up rolling over like it's done in past cycles. So this is beautiful. We're talking about support levels being at $3 right now. How crazy is that? Trying to flip 320 into a firm pivot support now, instead of a pivot resistance. Then if you push 328 into firm support after this, your next target's 360, and then you're going to say, oh, it's starting to move. Holy shit. And then once it finishes that and holds that, and finally gets that level taken care of, we have a technical target to 420, and then you're going to be like, oh my god, I guess it does move. And then the cycle top isn't even there yet. We're at 549 or maybe even 679, depending on where we get to, but at least 549 for this cycle top. So my title today is XRP has not hit cycle top. We're not even close. Yeah, and if you buy from here, it's not even a 1x if we only hit 549. But imagine if you bought in the bear market and you were part of this community for a long time. And I put all this out for free, so everybody's got the ability to watch. You can go back in the past and watch what we've done. And you're looking at this from 30, 40, 50 cents, and you're like, I don't know what everybody's complaining about. Like, this is holy shit moments. Like 10,000 tokens at 34 cents is $3,400. Now it's 32,000. Yes, I understand it's hard to buy $32,000 worth now. But now I'm taking the same philosophy I did with XRP and trying to find the other Internet of Things and ISO token gems. So if you thought I did good with XRP and you thought I mastered the past cycles, maybe put a little bit of thought into why I show certain tokens every single day. Every single day. Not that I'm showing XRP less, because I say the exact same thing. I do shorts every day, every update surrounded by it, every live I talk about this. But look at the setup. Inverse, head and shoulders. Nothing to worry about. It's doing exactly what it needs to do. And then you look at XLM and it's like, can we really tell them apart? Inverse, head and shoulders, doing exactly what it needs to do on a bull flag, right? Then you look at XDC and you're like, well, what is it doing? It's filling it out. It's filling this entire pattern out. And it may be early still for XDC, and it comes down to one layer to 0072 if it falls out. So you have a plan each step of the way to see how it, because it could very well be early. It could very well be early here. It usually runs late. Maybe it comes down to the 200 here and tries at 8.6. Maybe it does rotate all the way down. But this is another one where you've got to look at the bigger picture too. You've already broke out. You have this head and shoulder, or this inverse head and shoulders cup and handle form. This is the handle, by the way. So however far it decides if it wants to come down here and form something like this, that's fine. And then it would form something like this. Whoops. Longer term, you would just pull it out and then you'd end up in a channel. So that is possible. You know, that is possible if that 8.7 area breaks. So we've accounted for this. Maybe it even comes up, you know, something through here, 8.75. But we've been watching this, so we know what could happen. You know, and am I saying that that can't happen? Absolutely not. The good news is we've already back tested in this range down here before and a little bit lower after this push up. So I'll be intrigued to see what happens, and I'll be monitoring it because I'm going to look for every opportunity here going forward until we get into a bona fide alt season. Because for tokens like XDC and ZIL and VChain and HBAR, HBAR is still to an extent. No, HBAR I would put in there still. Because it's still in the ultimate consolidation. Algo, IOTA, Axelar, Casper, bands in that as well. You've got XYO, you've got Data, you've got, let's see, which ones am I missing? You've got AMP that's set up in that rotation as well. You've got Dent and Band that are certainly set up in those rotations. And GRT Hashgraph is definitely set up in that. I'm stoked about that, what I'm building there. Like, that's when I'm going to look back and shake my own hand again in a few years. Maybe even a year from now. I think 1 year from now, we're going to sit here and America. Now what's the plan? And we're going to just sit here. Because I think 1 year from now, once this all plays out. Although, you know, if that, and we never talk about it here, but if that, whatever it is coming down to Earth, you know, in November, December, you all know the alien thing they're talking about everywhere now. It's not a comet now. Now all of a sudden it's an actual spacecraft coming. Project Bluebeam. I didn't say it. But anyhow, I know JW. I can hear you screaming through it. You dumb son of a bitch is what he's calling me. He's calling me the dumb son of a bitch right now, saying, how could you even stutter those words? Are you out of your mind? We got a lot of important stuff to cover here, and you're going to go down that conspiracy rabbit hole, you dummy. I hear you loud and clear. Key fact today, Ripple's XRP focuses on cross-border payments, partnering with over 300 banks to enhance traditional banking efficiency in a $6 trillion market. Going back to what I said, if you have not bought XRP yet, hold your horses, because there are a lot of better alternatives, a lot cheaper, that haven't made the 10x returns yet that XRP has. Am I saying that it can't go to $10? I am not, but what I am saying is, for you, if you buy it here and it goes to $10, you're looking at, what, a 225% return? But with the other ones that are set up, we're talking about, in potential, thousands of percent. The same potential we talked with, thousands of percent with XRP just to get to these levels. We were up 1,000% to get here already. So remember that. If you're buying right now, remember, we've already bought this and been in it for 1,000%, basically. If it's at 340, it's easily 1,000%. You got to remember those things. So easily over 900% right now. You know, and some of the other ones we're looking at, they're legitimately below by 90 to 95% those same 21 levels. And they've only gone up maybe 1x off the bottom. Some have come up real close to where they were at. Like Algo and XD, or Algo and IOTA are back within, you know, 1x of where they were at. And they had come up way higher. And I remember in 23 we were doing FOMO Fridays, winning Wednesdays, and we would buy $50 on each of those days. Sometimes 100, and we built HBAR and Algo and a few others because it took time, and then we reaped the rewards in this bull market. But now it's more of what more rewards can we get, because we sold a lot, and then we bought back in on these big drops since January on a lot of things. And now it's about building in this last part of this alt season setup. Like, it really is. Any 20% opportunity you get, you hold on to it. Look at it as opportunity and not defeat, because this is every single cycle. Like, the ones I read off, like the GRT and the IOTA and Algos and XLM and X, these are all still in the accumulation phase. All of them. Axelar, all of these, they're all in the accumulation phase. And I can keep repeating them over and over. Even Dogecoin, if you're a fan. Julie, I keep forgetting Dogecoin. I have to put that on the list. We own 10,400. I told the story. She bought it when it was at many zeros. And she only had a free stock from Robinhood when she signed up because of me. And that free stock turned into some financial company that was like $4. But it went up to like 70-something dollars. They had some ridiculous rally in the financial crisis. So she sold it for like, I don't know, 70-something dollars. Bought Dogecoin on there. She was all excited about it from like 6 zeros or 5 zeros, and that turned into like $1,100. She sold it because I begged her on the Saturday Night Live, and I told her, I will send it back to you when it's time. Trust me. So then I did. I ended up buying her, instead of $1,000 worth, I bought her, you know, it was at 5.4 cents. I bought her 5 times more and bought her $5,400 worth. And she ended up, instead of having 1,000 something tokens, I got her 10,000 tokens. And she still holds on to them. I sent them to her at 9 point something cents when Robinhood allowed it. And she's been holding on to it ever since. And she's going to be on the verge of a massive breakout. She's going to be one of these people that holds this and, you know, hey, all of a sudden your money's worth like 10 grand, maybe more. You don't know what Elon's going to do. So if he ever wants to do this, she loves she just loves it. So, and she doesn't hold any other crypto. She just refuses to let go of that one. Refuses. And I'm glad. That's why I sent it to her. I'm like, I know you won't sell this. You won't even look at it. You don't even care. As long as it's still running and it hasn't gone bankrupt, she will hold this thing. I'm going to put my chart on that we used to cover it on. I used to like that chart. And I know some of you like Dogecoin. Another one that we didn't cover enough in this cycle, consolidation, that we might regret is like Shiba. But you can only do so many. You can only do so many tokens. And then if, you know, you start looking at these, right, from a grander scale. Let me get this out of the way. It's pretty interesting when you see. And yeah, Julie was one of these people back here that bought it when it was way down in these, where it barely even reads on the chart, right? I tried to buy it there too, and Robinhood locked my account 2 days before that grand rally started, and they didn't unlock it for like 6 months. True story. All because of the debacle with the Nokia knock, when they halted everything and they got mad because the options turned into like a ridiculous amount, and then they halted it and the options came down by like 60%. Started a big flag on my account, and then all of a sudden when I went to buy that, they're like, how the hell with this guy? He ain't getting 2 gems in a row. And they locked it for like 6 months. That's why I don't use Robinhood. I'm not going to tell anybody not to use it, but I won't do it out of principle. They always send me stuff now like, hey, come back to Robinhood, eat my nuts. I think they only say that because they probably have seen the show, I would imagine. A lot of these people see the show because they want me to promote. I've gotten stuff from Robinhood. I'm like, are you have the integrity and the insult to ask me to promote for you? After what you did? What did we do, sir? Why don't you look into your history, you cocksuckers? There we go. Let's continue. So Dogecoin, it's the best thing that ever happened to me because they did that. I started to get used to all this halting and all this bullshit of what they would do on these exchanges. So that's why I fell in love with crypto, because it was technically not government ran. But now, with all the rules and regulation, hello, stock market bullshit right in my front pocket, front and center, where the government tells me every step and fucking thing I can and cannot do. You know, the worst word in the English language is, hello, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. That's exactly what they're doing in crypto. But look at that big pattern setting up. I don't remember the last time we looked at this chart and look how this is set up with that initial inverse head and shoulders. Now it's actually playing out. It's going to be spectacular for some. All of this is. All of this is. Like, I'm so excited about this token. Nobody talks about this. We've talked about this since, well, a while. I remember talking about it early this year, too. But it was too early. Had a nice run up here, but listen, we're getting the same numbers as we got before the move up, basically, in 24. We're basically almost at the floor here. We just have the, basically where we're at is that expansion zone, and that's where XRP Healthcare was at before we got the massive breakout. And like, if this breaks out, you've already got the little cup and handle filled in the short term, and I've already set this up. That's how I know it looks random with the targets, but once we get on top of that cup and handle, there's nothing random about this. These are the technical targets. So imagine at 1.1, it's at 8.4. And then if we get on top of that, I set it up again for the longer cup and handle. That's how I get to 15 cents. So there's some big upside potential with some of these. Where do I recommend you store your crypto? Well, listen, everybody's going to have their own opinion. And I use the crypto.com, and I'm not promoting these by any means. But they're less of an exchange and more of a medium of exchange now. They like to do the stuff, and I think they're trying to push people away from trading and storing more. But anyhow, that's a whole nother debate, because they go into like all the other spots in the stock market, and they have the gold and the RWAs and the sports betting and all this other shit. They're like coming into the futuristic thing, but they have fire blocks. And when you have your money in just the USD, it's backed by the FDIC. If you have it in just USD, because it's kind of like banking. But if you have crypto, it's got a custodian through Fireblocks, so it's a custodian that has your money safely stored in your own unique wallet. And like I had an issue with Digibyte's wallet, which is why I won't hold it until they fix it, because there's no route for me to have it. And if I can't store it on their own wallet, what the hell? And then when I tried to get help, there was no one to be found. So I send a lot of my stuff to crypto.com for the fact that I'm verified. And now if you're talking about for tax purposes, now you got a plan for taxes. Even if you use, because you can use exchanges like BitUnix without a KYC and use them as a medium of exchange. So that's what these new things are. So use that as a medium of exchange, and all your tax stuff, you just claim everything that happens there. Whether you have gains, and you do whatever you got to do to make it look good. Put a cherry on top. But I like to store it there, if I'm being honest. I like the Fireblocks thing. Fireblocks gives you another layer of consolidation, and because I use the Crypto Visa debit card on the Ruby card, you can do $25,000 and prepay it. So it's like a savings account, but it's prepaid, so it's all on the card. And I can use it everywhere. I've had a few problems where I actually talked to customer support, and after a while, everything was fixed. You know, and even when I had $900 that was used out of it, they immediately, within 24 hours, had that account closed. Within 3 weeks, I had a new card. I could still use the temporary thing, but they created a whole new account. Within like 72 hours, yeah, it was 3 days when I couldn't use it, but they had to do the fraud stuff, and then they created a new account, and it's completely closed out the other Ruby card. They sent me a brand new card. Like, they take the shit seriously. I was like, holy crap, they're just as good, if not better, than my credit card or my bank card. It was crazy. So that gave me a certain level of like, holy crap. But yeah, I wouldn't buy shit from them, and I wouldn't sell shit there. I would send it right back off when you were going to sell it. And I've done lots of money through them, and every single time it instantly works. I've never had them stop one single thing, and I've done so much back and forth, I can't even explain it. Including withdrawing a lot of money, too. So, that's what I would suggest. I don't like wallets. The only wallet I have right now is the XRP Healthcare wallet, and I store my XRP and XRP Healthcare on it. And I personally think XRP Healthcare is going to be something massive. So I like to support its infrastructure. You know, I will sell XRP again if it ever gets to a cycle top. But we're not there yet. So, you know, I did it in 21. And I don't hold crypto when we get to cycle tops. I wait and rinse and repeat. But we haven't done anything in alts yet. Alts, even if it goes down 50% from here, on the grand scale, we are still in the accumulation phase. It's just, it is what it is. We were at, you know, just add 90 to 95% on everything you see besides like XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin on this list. And like HBAR and XLM are closer to that because they didn't really get anywhere in the last cycle as far as over $1. But then you can look at the rest and you're like, damn. Shane, welcome in, and thanks for being in Town Zone for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Where can you buy XDC? I buy it in spot. I can't send it off of it to go anywhere. But BitUnix, in the video description below, or the pinned comments of this very live, if you go into my live and you click on where it says BitUnix, it's got the link and it'll take you right there. But they do have Fireblocks, so there's a custodial wallet that safely stores your tokens, and if anything ever happens, you have a way of recourse. If anybody ever steals it, if you ever... there's just a lot of things. We've had somebody define... who I'm sure will share the story in the Telegram again one day. It's a long story, but how he got his back because of the Fireblocks. And he swears by it, I swear by it. And that's why I switched over to BitUnix. Besides the fact that the fees are so cheap, which can get you into other trouble, because then you feel like you can buy and sell all the time because the fees are like on 50 grand or 30, on $30,000, let's say. I'm looking at like a $60 fee to sell and buy back. And it's like, or $90 between the buy and sell. And it's like, well, with that cheap, you can just keep buying, so you can get into trouble that way. Because, listen, investors make money in crypto, in the stock market, in the commodities, in the bullion, in the mining stocks, and all these other ones. In the mutual funds, investors do. The ones who will trade in and out at an 85% clip minimum lose money. It's at an 85%, if not higher. Usually 95% of traders lose. But if we're being generous, 85, once you turn into a trader... And that means selling and buying and selling and buying in the same cycle. That's what we were starting to get away from. We were starting to trade too much. We're building the good principles again in a different way. No, it's not 8% a day. It ends up being over 1 year if you keep it in for 1 year. It's 8%. No one's going to, if you get 8% a day, you're probably being scammed. No offense. But no, 8 point something percent. Algo's 3.4, but I'm going to hold it anyhow. They want to pay me 3.4% to give it back to the blockchain and only have to give them 24-hour notice to unstake it. Well, I'm going to keep it in until I want to get it back. I don't care. I've got faith in crypto.com for storage purposes. They've got all the guidelines met for next level and next tier, and they don't even need crypto to keep them running. So to me, it gives me a certain sense of relief because a lot of exchanges are only crypto. With crypto.com, it's literally crypto. You've got sports betting. You've got the whole fucking stock market and bullion market and futures markets. You've got everything there. They continuously are integrating more than just crypto, and it seems like they're getting away from the crypto game, and that's why they don't much care about liquidity, and they'll charge a little bit more for people for convenience. The chat seems quiet. Gotcha. I don't know. There's a lot of comments. I haven't even got close to getting to them. Bear Yoga, welcome in. With Joseph Euler, Amanda, and Ben B. Thank you for being in Times 6+ months with the XP Predictor. I really, really appreciate that so much. Jason, welcome in. Edgar, good evening with Jason P. Fowl. Shane says it helps support Tom, who gives everything he does for free, and he is the best and most honest technical analyst on YouTube. Oh, I appreciate that. Also, you get access to his Telegram. That's Tom's Army. Oh, yeah, Jason. If you go into Tom's Army, and I used to let everybody just come in there for free, but there was a lot of people trying to splice who I am, and it was getting to a point where I was seeing how many people were starting to fall for it, which was a shame, so I had to do something. So David Hoff, thank you for joining Tom's Army. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Real quick, Nick, welcome in, and thanks for being a very trusted mod in here along with Rick. And Nick, thanks for being one in helping in the Telegram too with being a very trusted admin. He's our technical advisor who does a hell of a job. But David, now that you're in Tom's Army, and I appreciate it, go to YouTube's homepage, and anybody who's in Tom's Army, if you haven't done this yet, do this. Go to the post, and I would click on it, but people were splicing it together when I would show this, so I can't even do that because somebody was trying to scam us by just doing it when I showed it one time in the live. So go into the post and you'll see the Telegram link, and it'll allow you to go here. And when you get here, there's a lot of stuff. Content links will give you ability to see every content link I post. Community Hub is where we all talk. And then Pager X is where I share my thoughts every single day. And in the morning, when I first wake up while I'm at the gym or before I go to the gym, before my shower, I do a setup. And today, I said, good morning and happy Sunday, everyone. As we seen yesterday, despite a massive run-up for Ethereum, this morning we are heading back down to the CME gap that was left from Friday. I should have said CME gaps. Focus on this in live yesterday for Ethereum support at currently 4,170. Unfortunately, we bounced off of that so far. We had a hard test through it, but bounced back through it. Then it lost 4,080 and finally 3,993 to break back bullish. Ethereum needs to retake 4,300. I think more looking at it, it's like 4,330 would be a better area. And make a new high. It's possible to backtest down at 4K and be super bullish. Bitcoin surged past 117.1K resistance, surpassing 118K, but sucked up any free money flow and helped drop alts 3 to 5% across the board. If holds, Bitcoin could target 126K. If falls apart and loses 115.5, it dropped to 110, 106, or even 91K is possible. As for XP, failed to retake $3.28 support. The forced breakout to 360 now has fallen below 320 support. If this continues, we have $3.06, and Nick has 308 in the daily, which it's the exact same area. Whether it holds 306 or 308, ultimately, if it loses those areas, it'll go to 298 before it gets, and 298 before it gits dangerous. XRP proves rising wedge, rejects at 094 area, and head to first support at 088. If it fails, 0.075 is coming. No leverage, no position to position. This is a time to make precision-like buys and wait out alt season. We aren't looking for 10 or 20% gains, more like hundreds of thousands of percent gains. And that's to the alt tokens, IoT and ISO in particular. I posted about XLM looks to be getting ready for a run here. Would be a fantastic if this plays out. And then I talked about XRP very similar. And in the community section, I just asked, and I ask all of you as well, if you didn't know any difference, can you tell XLM and XRP apart? Honestly, could you? I can't. And then Define Group, real quick. Congratulations to your daughter and you. Their team was in last place going into the regular season at the end, but they ended up in the playoffs, taking home the championship, which is no small task. A tremendous turnaround. An amazing turnaround. So congratulations to you if you're still in here, Define. And if your daughter's watching, heck of an accomplishment right here. His daughter's soccer team went from last place in regular season to winning first place and champions, and they won the championship today. I'm saying that an incredible turnaround. Never say never. Never say never. Never say never. I've had similar experiences coaching where we went from last to first in the same season, and it was unbelievable to win that championship. Wales, Josie Wales, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. And also, for the $4.99 donation, says $550 million in liquidations on Bitcoin at $112,450. Yeah, we could certainly go down there if we can't hold 118 or one. Actually, I would say 117, but 118 is actually the area that I like. And now the short term, we got to get back over 122. And then we get over that area, we should push that first target of 126, assuming it pushes forward. Why don't I like wallets? All the world stage one, because wallets have never done anything kind for me. I don't like the back end ways people can hack into wallets. I've talked about it for years. I tried to put a large amount on DGB in a wallet, on the official DGB wallet, and something happened to where there's a bug on them, and you have no access to your tokens. And for 3 days, I didn't hear anything. All you have is a simple email that you have no idea where it's going, who's going to contact you. And after several different contacts, I finally found the right person who was willing to do something and gave a fuck. And it ended up being the person who developed the Digibyte wallet, who's the same creator of Somecoin. And he actually went in there, got my stuff. I had to trust him with all of my information, which is a bunch of bullshit. But I had to literally give him my 12-digit code and hope to God. It was either that or I lost it anyhow. So I went on a limb. You know, he gave me all of his information. I could verify who he was. He actually video chatted me so I could see he was the person he claimed to be. And he's done a lot of infrastructure work. So just being able to talk to that guy one time was different. But he ended up getting it back. But to this day, Digibyte never contacted me back to help. So I had to go around. So the fact that it's on their website to use this wallet, thank God I found the creator of the wallet who actually helped. He said he was contacted by Digibyte and he reskinned the Somecoin, and I believe it because it's the exact same freaking wallet. So no, I don't like the wallets. I just don't like them. The support isn't at what they should be. I like, if you're going to use them, I would support like the XRP Ledger via, you know, you can use the XRP Healthcare wallet. You can use Zoom, formerly known as Zaman. You can use some like the Trust wallet and different things. But still, that's still on a, you know, you're still using a, it's just different because then you got different kind of wallets where you can actually use an actual ledger and these, you know, you can use like the things, the USB drive, all this other crap. My whole point is if I can't use the exchange and I got to worry about it disappearing or them stealing from me, well, we're screwed anyhow. So I'm going to find the exchanges that use Fireblocks, and that's just the way I'm looking at it right now. So I use BitUnix for the no KYC until it goes away, and for storage I like, and the no fees, obviously, the real cheap fees on BitUnix. But I like Crypto.com. It's got Fireblocks. A lot of the ones you guys use are not starting to integrate it. Like I think Bitfinex and some of the other ones, I know like Gate.IQ or IO and all these other ones are starting to use it. I think Binance might have started using it for Binance US. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. Like Coinbase. I know Kraken uses Fireblocks now, so that's good. They summed up a big problem. I just had a lot of problems withdrawing one time from a lot. And it was only like $3,000 and they held it for like a month, which never sat right with me. And I've done like 6 figures, well over 6 figures back and forth, not at once, but on Crypto.com, and well over 60,000 in withdrawals in the time frame as well. And I've never had an issue. They've never one time have they flat. The only thing they ever asked was, why are you taking so much and putting it elsewhere? And I'm like, because your fees are so goddamn high. And until I'm ready to store my crypto again, I don't need your exchange. So it went down by like 90% for a while. But now it's back up because I maxed out the crypto Visa debit card. And I've got some crypto on there and all this. But anyhow, that's enough about me. Let's continue to... Tanya, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with XP 589 Moon Badge. I'm so appreciative you're in here, love. Our most popular member, hands down. Hands down. So glad you're still here, and I know you've been going through a lot of stuff. You know who I also pray is doing okay is Miss Vicky, Tanya. We miss Miss Vicky around here. I love Miss Vicky, and we miss her. I hope she's doing okay. She was going through a rough stretch, and she was working a lot and all that, but she was watching still. Just rough hours, and when we do it, it makes it rough. Vado Damas, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge. Edgar, good evening. David Hoff, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 year with the first month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. I'm in family. Hopefully one day I can return the help and love. You already are, my friend. You already are. You're supporting my content, supporting our community, and I'm so glad to see that you're going to be in the Telegram too. I get to know a lot of people in there, and I'm very active in the Telegram. I just have so many sections to talk to that I try to only talk and not interrupt so much, but I got a lot to say too. I like talking to everybody. And I like the positive message. Like, I love the positivity over negativity, the unification, the abundance for all, not the abundance for I, the spirituality. I love it all. I love it all. Vado Damas has been here forever, man. That's a name that brings back great memories because we've been doing this for a while, and he's been here for a while. Buybacking is a wild statement. Why not just be holding? Eventually we'll be left. That's why I changed my tune here too, Nick, because I realized that a lot of people, and I didn't really like it so much, that so many people were just so willing to just, hey, I'm going to buy and sell every 10% now. It's like the message was getting mixed, so no more of that. No more of that, especially where we're at. So, Jeffy, good evening, my brother. Bearded Viking, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. He says, I'm just excited to see what Q4 does this year. I have a feeling there will be money to be made. I think so. Either that or it pushes us into Q1 of next year, but either way, all good. Whether it's Q4 or Q1 of 26, doesn't matter to me. Just means more opportunity. Edgar, good evening. I thought I could get a few more. I was trying to get 10 or so more. I have 2 tiny bags of 1,000 experience 1,200, but I was trying to trade with 150 extra PI increase. Or did I miss the comment before somewhere? Okay, you guys were talking. Hey, slowly but surely, you're doing what you got to do, Edgar. Yeah, we're going to get ready for $5 plus. There's no doubt about it. I like how Soul Jeffy said, get ready for 4 to 5. It's going to happen. It's already baked in. We don't know when, but it's going to happen at some point. This is going to happen. And hopefully when that happens, like, I'll go in XDC and IOTA and some of these maybe not H-Bar, because of where it's already moved. But something like Dent and Band and, you know, Axlar and Casper and all those ones on that side. Zill, VeChain, DGB. Those ones will move up huge. You know, several 100% in the same time frame. AMP, Theta, File. See, I don't have enough room for Theta and File because I have other plans. And I wasn't willing to give some back out of IOTA or Algo. I wanted 40,000 of each. Don't ask me why. It's just something I wanted to do a long time ago when I was broke. When I first started in crypto and didn't have the funds I have now. Thanks to crypto. I wanted to do something, and I'm trying to hold all my promises to myself. Bob Bertner, thank you so much for the $10 donation. Says, appreciate your hard work. Well, I appreciate you sending your hard-earned money and paying it forward, and also being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge. You guys are so very generous. And, you know, sometimes I get lost in the comments, and it takes me until the end of the live sometimes. And, you know, I got to go travel tomorrow for 4.5 hours, 4 hours and 45 minutes, as I surprised Julie, as you know, for her birthday on July 28th. It's our last summer with the 18-year-old that graduated from high school. I've been part of her life for over 11 years since she was 6, almost 12 years now. But Julie's grandma, we bought her house, not from her grandma, but her grandma sold it to her aunt, which was your grandma's daughter, which sold it to her grandma's niece, which was her, you know, her mom, you know, her cousin's mom who sold it to her, and then we bought it from her cousin, which broke the link, so we had to pay the new property tax rate, which sucked. But, you know, it is what it is. And then now, Julie's grandma, when she was alive, before she passed away, sold her cottage she had up north because she would stay there and then go, I think, to Florida in the wintertime. So this house, even though it's from the 50s, it wasn't hard pressed. So, like, it wasn't used all that much for many decades. So, like, everything wasn't, it's not as hard used as it could have been. And then we got it remodeled, did a lot of work this year, blah, blah, blah. But Julie's grandma had the cottage. And somebody bought it, and they do Airbnb, so I surprised Julie with 3 nights there, going Monday, coming back Thursday, but Michaela's going to go with Scarlett, and Michaela's going to Western when we get back in the honors program for her bachelor's degree, so it's like our last summer to have everybody in the house. And then Scarlett's going to start middle school, T's going to start elementary, so all big steps for everybody. And T special needs, so he needs a lot of help and a lot of stuff. I mean, he's smart, but he needs a lot of people to help watch out for him with his feeding tube and just other issues, you know, that he's had. He's had a rough life. Michaela has too, though. She's type 1 diabetic from what, 6, 7?
8.
Was it 8?
Third grade.
Was it 8 or was it 7 turning into 8?
It was third grade.
Yeah.
Scarlett was 2.
Yep. So 7 or 8. So it's been an interesting ride. But we're going to enjoy that. But I'm still going to be doing my work. They have Wi-Fi and all this stuff. I think I'll be able to do lives out there. The only thing that'll change is I probably won't be doing 2 lives a day. I'll probably do 1 a day. But who knows? Said that on the last vacation. And one day I did 3 in one day. So what the hell do I know? I don't take vacations. I just change my scenery, as I told Julie. I just change the scenery. Frankie Fresh, thank you so much. So we're going to do that, and that's a birthday gift to Julie. And then Scarlett's birthday's at the end of August. Only going to be 12 now. Only 1 year until teenage years. Blah, 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 blah. We don't want to talk about that yet. We don't want to talk about teenage years. We already went through that with 1. Thanks, Tom, for teaching me all about trading crypto. It's been 1 year now. Truly appreciate you. So I appreciate that. And thank you for paying it forward, not only being in Tom's arm for 3+ months with the XP Meteor, but also the $19.99 donation. And tell your significant other, I believe it's been how many years did you say? 11 or something years? Maybe more. 16? 16? It was 11 or 16. To Janine. Hello, Janine. I hope you're having a great evening, too. He was our Spotlight member of the month in the Telegram with the side shout out to Janine for being such a, not just a vital part, even if we can't see the comments, we understand this beautiful soul Janine is through Frankie Fresh, and it makes me so happy that couples are watching me. The stats are in the Telegram now, husband and wife. Like, we've got a lot of people that are family now that are actually, we're doing something, and I didn't realize, I realize, but I don't sometimes. But the find is like, nobody's doing something like this anywhere in this space, and it's like we're doing something that's going to transcend things. Like, we're going to have a movement here, a good movement of abundance for all, and when we get there, we're going to get there together, and it's a beautiful thing. I think the Telegram's like 450 strong now. It's insane to think that. It really is. 461. We're getting close to 500 members in the Telegram. And remember, if YouTube ever bans me, you can still watch me through the Telegram. We'll figure something out. You know, through my website, make sure to go to xrbfuturemillionaire.com. More advancements are coming. Just a lot of stuff to do. I work very strategically and slow so I can understand the processes. So bear with me. But I know my son wants to hang out, and I've loved everything about this. Maybe Sue another day. But I'm trying not to cloud everything I do here because I had to take some stuff off the list that I really like Quant and some other things like XCN and, you know, AVE and Theta and File. I'm trying to keep on my list everything. The only thing I'm not willing to take off is Band. I mean, Epic. Sorry, not Band. Epic's well, Band is one, but Epic is another one as well. Epic, which would be nice if it actually got a back test back down here, if it actually fell through to retest. But it does look like that could be a flag setting up here, so who knows. But it's so new, we don't know. And there's only like 30 million tokens. Ripple's invested in it. They're going to be like the infrastructure, like the beta testing of the infrastructure for real-world assets and the corporations and just real utility and such to do it in the real-time light speed and so on and transact. But yeah, I hope you guys learned something this evening. I really do. Do I have to go back and watch this video too, Tom, for your message? You should go back and watch every video. But yeah, I try to start out with a strong message. But ladies and gentlemen, I know we didn't get 5 donations, but I really think we ended up getting we got 3 to 5 donations. I'm going to sing Sunny Days. So ladies and gentlemen, as I leave, I want to leave you with this positive vibe. And this is going to be twice in one day. Ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you got some information today. I know we talked a lot, but I hope we got some information today. So, Dennis Smith, thank you so much for being in Tom's Zone for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Yeah, David, send a message to Define, and he'll walk you through it. He does a great job. Or anybody, if you comment in there, people will be more than happy to guide you. I promise. But Dennis Smith, thank you for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Says, my sweet Kelly sits and watches your lives with me, Tom. She has her own crypto account. And with your help, she is understanding much more. Excellent, Dennis. Excellent. She can come into the Telegram with the link that you can provide if she wants to. Like, if you're husband and wife, you don't have to both be buying it. Like, if your family can come in, obviously if they believe the same thing, but just don't invite, too many people. But the ones who provide the spirit like that, I appreciate. So yeah, Kelly, if you're watching right now, thank you so much. I love seeing the couples. I hope Sunny Days doesn't scare you all away, but you're still here. You're still here. Juan, God bless you as well, my friend, and thanks for being in town for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens along. Joe's Wales and Mark Cass, and thank you both for over 1 year as well. Unbelievable the loyalty in this community. I seriously can't comprehend the absolute stupid comments from people at 0TA. Nick, welcome to my world. But I've learned to do it with a smile. Edgar, I love seeing that you're here to learn too, my friend. Oh, yeah. There's one of the 2 husband and wife combo. G. Stott. Thank you for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. I'll have a great trip. I know we will. And I'll be here, though, every step of the way, even though I'm gone. I promise. I hate driving 4 hours and 45 minutes with my back. I'm going to be sore as hell. But the memories are going to be worth every minute of it. Every minute of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know what time it is. Do you know what time it is before my son comes and kicks me out? Ladies and gentlemen, the sun. Sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. I wear glasses 'cause I can't see a motherfucking thing. Happy days, oh happy days, oh what a day, oh happy days, oh what a day. XRP will reign supreme, let's just not get caught in the fun. Oh, we're gonna crash and we did and we will and we won't and we can and we will and we may and we won't and we did and we can and we won't and we did and we will and we won't and we can and we did and nobody knows what's really going on. Oh yeah. Stay true. Stay blessed. Allow XRP. Eventually by 2032, that bears penance playing out. Bitcoin dominance is going to go bye-bye. The world's largest Ponzi scheme will go eventually. T's waiting right now, playing his piano for all of you. You hear T's playing the music for Sunny Days. How did you guys like that? How do you like that? Take us out, T. Playing his little piano.
Good job.
Thank you, T.